Hello, my name is Jemai Farah. I'm a master's student in communication and media, and today I'm going to present you the following paper, predicting the relationship between narrative transportation, consumer brand experience, love and loyalty in video storytelling advertisement. So the table of content. The table of content of my presentation and the table of content of the original paper are quite similar, starting with introduction and motive, literature review, methodology, and conclusion. So first, let's see introduction and motive. The motive of the paper is to test if there is a relationship between consumer brand interaction and video storytelling advertisement. To be more precise, the paper believes that narrative transportation in video storytelling advertising has an effect on consumer brand experience, love, and loyalty. Video advertising in the United States is estimated to grow from 35.4 million US dollars, in 2020 to 69.43 billion in 2024. Moreover, video advertising is particularly effective among 16 to 24 years old and 25 to 34 years old who have watched some, and this is particularly due to their use of social media that are the best platform to use for video storytelling advertisement. To add to what the paper states and give a more global perspective, by the end of the year, so 2022, worldwide internet advertising budget is expected to hit 164.6 billion US dollar worldwide. And by 2023, there will be around 3.5 billion people that will be considered as video viewers. Because of the ongoing market from video advertising and due to the great reach possibility to the social media, but also as it is a cost effectiveness way to advertise, brands are investing more and more on developing video advertising strategies. The paper further explained that this advertising format has the benefits of conveying an emotional appeal about a brand, in particular when consumers are transported into the narrative of the ad, and facilitates the brand attitude change and also word of mouth communication. While narrative advertisement and storytelling advertising may seem similar, the paper explained there is a notable differences between the two of them. So narrative advertisement has been popular since around 1908 and therefore used television and print media platform, whereas video storytelling advertisement relies on internet and social media platforms. But still, the similarity of concepts between the both makes it possible to apply theories of narrative advertisement to video storytelling advertisement, and this particular research use both interchangeably because they perform the same function to convey the core message by telling a brand story to tell a brand story and create like a connection between brands in ad story and the achievement of self-related goals. The paper continued by giving a few concept clarification that I think it's important that we review together to understand further what was the methodology of the paper. So first, a brand story also makes consumer feel that the brand resonates with their own personal life to create better engagement. It is fidelity and narrative probability also makes a brand story ad believable. As of what is a successful video storytelling advertisement campaign, it can cause brand energy, which is like the capability of brand differentiation. And lastly, a strong and valuable brand contributes to its growth. And this is like it grows with age, but also despite whatever can be happening in the world. And a good example for that would be to mention the global coronavirus pandemic. So a brand that is strong and valuable can continue a steady growth with age and despite environmental issues. Previous research has already proven that narrative advertising campaign can generate better persuasion results, and not only research, but as we saw at the beginning with the data and statistics that are also showing that video storytelling advertisement is growing rapidly and steadily, and it has been proven as an effective marketing strategy, and therefore it's not surprising that brands are constantly investing and developing this plan of action. Before going through the study justification motives, here is a first like an overview of what previous research already explored, and it will help us better understand where the study justifications come from. So first, the effect of narrative advertisement seems to be consistent and are not dependent on product type, which means that no matter the type of product like food, perfume, or luxury items, positive narrative effects were found in every study that searched that item. Moreover, this statement is also true regardless of the country, as similar finding has been shown in different countries such as the US, France, or even South Korea. And finally, we talked about the difference between narrative story and video story in advertisements, and research has focused on how narrative story and I'm quoting the paper, could help establish a brand consumer personal linkage with a brand by evoking favorable brand experience. A less explored research area is to examine whether video storytelling advertisement could similarly affect consumer experience and branding outcomes. So to summarize the paper, motive starts from trying to answer the following question: will video storytelling advertising help enhance consumer experience, love, and loyalty with advertised brand? So next part is the literature review. So what is the narrative transportation that the paper refers to? Well, the paper defines the narrative transportation as a convergent process where all mental system and capacity become focused on an event occurring in the narrative based on previous research on the matter. And I think we can understand it as the phenomenon of when viewers is intellectually and emotionally invested in the story that he's exposed to. And this phenomenon is not only reserved to like films or book. When brand use storytelling advertisement, there is also an act of being absorbed into the branded narrative, and the viewers are also transported inside the brand story, like the characters, if we can compare. And as of the persuasion effect, positive emotion generated by the content makes the viewer less likely to be skeptical and have a counter-argumentative behavior, and that leads to giving the video storytelling the power of being more persuasive and the viewer being more prone to persuasion. As of brand experience, the study defined brand experience as subjective consumer response related to their sensation, feelings, connection, and behavior that can be evoked by brands and by brands' narrative message. And the paper further explained, and I quote, that brand experience is one of the most promising concepts to emerge in consumer research over the last decade. Brand experience has been used to investigate its effect on campaign outcomes, ranging from brand trust, brand loyalty, and brand recommendation, brand attitude, brand distinctiveness, to brand satisfaction. The study used the brand resonance model from Keller to test the effect of narrative transportation. The brand resonance model comes from the study of Keller in 2000 2013, that regroups as brand resonance, brand attachment, community engagement, and loyalty. The model is about the positive correlation between emotional and rational roots in advertising and high brand resonance. So if we look at the following graphic, we can see that each step leads to a deeper level of engagement, I can say. The paper stipulates that video storytelling advertisements are capable of reaching every route that we saw through a single ad, and thanks to that narrative, thanks to the narrative transportation. And this leads to this theoretical model that the research made, and where we can see that the level of narrative transportation in storytelling advertisement positively predicts consumer brand experience. A high level of narrative transportation will lead to higher brand sensory experience. A high level of narrative transportation will also lead to a higher brand intellectual experience. And finally, a higher level of narrative transportation will lead to higher brand behavioral experience. We covered how the correlation hypothesis regarding narrative transportation and brand experience, but when it comes to brand love and brand loyalty, different concepts and hypotheses are to be further explained. So here we can see an overview of every of the hypotheses in this research. From R1 to R13 we already covered on the previous segment, so I'm going to start directly with R2. As we can, brand love is defined in the paper as passion, intimacy, and commitment to a brand created when consumer feels emotionally connected with a brand that is able to integrate their sense of self. Brand love has been associated with active engagement and brand loyalty and high sensory behavior and intellectual exposure. And high sensory behavior and intellectual expression can lead to brand love. Therefore, the paper comes with the following predicament. Brand experience positively predict consumer love. Consumer brand sensory experience positively predicts their brand love. Consumer brand intellectual experience positively predicts their brand love. And consumer brand behavioral experience positively predicts their brand love. Finally, we mentioned that brand love leads to brand loyalty, defined as either attitudinal brand loyalty, which is when a consumer have intention to purchase and recommend the brand to other people in spite of its premium price, and while the behavior loyalty refers to when consumers prefer the brand and are willing to presage that brand in the future. So the research hypotheses around brand loyalty are: brand love positively predicts consumer loyalty. Consumer brand love positively predicts their attitudinal brand love. And consumer brand love positively predicts their behavioral brand love. Lastly, the paper do believe that the effect of narrative transportation on brand experience, love, and loyalty are expected to vary between experience and search products. And that is the final research hypothesis number 4. So now we can move on our next session which is methodology. So the methodology model is a post-test only experimental design with 2 low involvement products, which will be the 2 video advertisement. And as for the participants, there is 115 participants, all students that were recruited to complete the study voluntarily in exchange of extra credit in their course, and were randomly exposed to one of the 2 ads, so Extra Gum and Dollar Shave Club, that we will see later on. The participants were around 42% participants were male, so around 36% of the participants, and 73 participants were female, so around 63%. Their average age was around 24 years old, which is ideal to the study because, as we mentioned in the beginning, the prime category of age demographic that is exposed to video storytelling advertisements are like young adults due to their high level of social media usage. So at the end of the ad, the participant completed a online questionnaire composing of multidimensional brand experience, brand love, and brand loyalty items. We can see here on this graphic that there were 3 items of brand sensory experience, 3 items of brand intellectual experience, 3 items of brand behavioral experience, 4 items for brand love, and 2 items for behavior brand loyalty, and finally 2 items for the additional brand loyalty. All of the questionnaire were using a 5-point Likert statement scale, with 1 representing strongly disagree and 5 representing highly strongly agree. Sorry. So this is the stimuli selection. So there is 1 ad that is extra gum and 1 ad that is Dollar Shave Club. I think that unfortunately, due to the length of this presentation, I will not be able to show to you the advertisement that were used directly through this presentation, but I did add the link so you can freely access the ads if you wish to. Ooh. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Mike.
Okay, so for the results, the majority of our hypotheses, hypotheses that were mentioned were statistically significant, except for the relationship of brand between brand behavioral experience and brand love in the combined model of 2 products. So overall, narrative transportation explains 42% of variance in brand intellectual experience and 25% of variance in brand behavioral experience. Brand experience dimensions in total explain 36% of variation in brand love, while brand love accounts for 42% of variance in behavior brand loyalty and 35% in variance in attitudinal brand loyalty. Narrative transportation explains change in brand sensory experience, brand intellectual experience, and brand behavioral experience, providing support for the theory R1, R11, R12, and R13. Brand sensory experience accounts for changes in brand love, and brand intellectual experience accounts for change in brand love also. The positive coefficient of these 2 brands experience dimensions suggests that there is an excellent predictive power of brand love. So this provide like support to conclude positively for the hypothesis number 2, and moreover, it also it also showed that there is a positive correlation between brand loyalty and brand love, and moreover, like more precisely, behavior brand loyalty. So that allows us to support the theory R3, R31, and R32. So here you can see a recap of all the research hypotheses and which one were successfully supported by the study that are marked in green, and the only one that was not supported is R4. The empirical data from this procedure did not lend to support the moderation effect of product type. And the study explains, and I quote further, that because there are no effect of the product type, they determined to simplify the structural model by removing the product type, and its moderation effect and related paths from the model. So yeah, so I think that we can conclude with the following. So the findings have supported the positive effects of ad illicit narrative transportation on 3 brand experience dimension, and these effects generally remain consistent across different product types. Video storytelling advertisement provides advertisers with a creative platform to generate strong engagement with the advertised brand, and especially thanks to social media. And this is especially thanks to social medias. Moreover, and I quote, while traditional television commercials are often constrained by their length restriction, video advertising on YouTube and other social media platforms has the advantage of delivering a long format or duration video for that can be easily adapted. The study shows that video storytelling is not only beneficial to brand engagement. on three dimensional level, and but also a good way to access like the what we saw, the Keller brand resonance pyramid, with a very cost effectiveness strategy, because one single ad can allow us to reach all those levels. So finally, it is also noteworthy to know that this strategy isn't limited to a single type of product, like the theory number 4 showed us, like the hypothesis number 4 showed us, and showing furthermore how, and I quote, narrative transportation is a powerful and consistent predictor of consumer brand experience. Before we conclude this presentation, there are a few important limitations to the study that are I think that needs to be mentioned. So firstly is that the two advertisement that were showing as a stimuli were both low involvement products. So this study findings are only applicable to other low involvement product types. And also due to the sampling method that were done in a university in the US, the findings are also maybe may differ if it's applied to the scale, like a worldwide scale, or to another country demographics. So it's important to keep that in mind. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening, and don't hesitate to leave any comments. Thank you.